standing in front of probably the one of the oldest buildings on campus. I don't know the exact age, it's kind of hard to find out, but we know it's somewhere probably over 80 to 85 years old. In fact, it's probably closer to 90. This is what they call the steam plant. The steam plant is where they generated the heat for all the homes that we have in all the buildings. The big office building up front where y'all stopped originally was part of the original buildings that were here years ago. That was part of the old school, if I remember right. What I'm standing on looks like a sidewalk, doesn't it? But you'll see these around campus if you drive around and walk around, and there's pipes going under here. They go all different directions because there used to be buildings up here, over on the other side, over on this side. Didn't have these houses. There was big brick buildings and a hospital. I'll tell you about that in a minute too. Now, guess what they're used for?
What?
Groundhogs and skunks, whatever. You know, they go under here and they can go anywhere they want to, and we'll see them come up on campus somewhere. You never
Really?
know.
They go
So
through the
they can
pipes.
be anywhere. Now they won't be in here while they're here, but I'm going to show you the big boiler. The big boiler that the men and the boys, the older boys, had to shovel coal to keep us warm, keep them warm here. Now, it took 10 train car loads of coal. You know how big have you ever seen a train car carrying coal piled up the top? It took 10 of those every year to be enough to help keep this place warm. And that's all the heat they had. Didn't have electric like we do. They had to use that kind of heat, and that went on up until the nearly the 50s. So these are closed up now, but they used to shovel the coal through here. I don't know exactly how the train cars got over here where they unloaded it, but you'll see a little bit of what's left. Now, stand back just in case there's an alligator coming through us that I don't know about. All right, you never know around here. Anybody home? Can't go in though. Got to stop at the door. Can't go in.
Just stop right here, boys and girls.
I'm gonna open it wide. Get on this side. You can see better right here. Look how big this boiler is. Now, just briefly how it worked. This little one over here, the round one, there was water in that. All the fire, the coal went into these big box-like things here. Went in there. That heated the water.
Everybody's okay. Wait a minute.
That heated the water, made the steam, and these big pipes, like here on your right, and you see down at the bottom, that's where the steam is forced up to the building.
Jacob, peel me back just a little bit. And Abraham, if you're taller, you can stay in the back. You can see. Come on back a little bit, please. Thank you. Shh.
Now the ladder that you see here, going up to the top. Now that wasn't necessarily the only ladder they used, but up on this level up here, that's where a lot of times they rested. In between times, they took shit. Somebody, and usually I guess probably 4 or 5, best I remember them telling me at a picnic one time, had to be down here all the time, 24 hours a day during cold weather. Because if you ran out of coal, you really had a problem. Oh yeah. You know, if you didn't have the heat going. So they take times resting up here. I think some of them said they had cots and all. You can see a little bit from here where there's some names up there where they wrote their names over the years. I had lunch with some of them that lived back in that time, probably 10 years ago now. And they have a reunion every year out here. And some of the older guys that had done this thing told me a lot about what they did. There's a little restroom down here. They had a sink still left over there in the toilet. And they stayed down here for sometimes 6 or 8 hours at a time. The boys and girls went to school. Some went in the morning, some went in the afternoon. That's because there was always work that had to be done out here. Either doing something like this, or washing clothes, or getting the food in from the farm. So it took everybody doing all they could do. And then they had 6 teachers that helped them not only during school, but in the evening they would help them do homework and do additional schoolwork so that they got all the education that they were supposed to get. And this school was accredited back then. It was recognized as an accredited school. They went to school on campus, lived on campus, went to church here. Everything was here. It was over nearly 500 acres at that time. But this is called the steam plant. The holes that you see up top, see how big they are? If you were ever in the office or saw a book from out here, there were stacks, big metal stacks going up from there about 30 feet up in there. There was 3 of them. And that's where the smoke would be seen, for miles around. That's because they obviously had to do something there. But this is the steam plant. It's an old boiler. There's asbestos in the inside. We're all right because we're not messing with it and making it loose.
Right.
but they can't do anything with it until they one day get enough money to do it the right way, the proper way. So right now, it's just here. We no longer use it for anything, and like I said, I'm the only one who usually shows us off, because I used to be down here back before when we did use it, doing a lot of work, keeping stuff stored here and all, so I knew a little bit about it. All right, but steam plants, you've seen two of the older buildings right here. All right, we're gonna get back in the vans, we're gonna ride up to the gym, we'll park up there. Before we go in, we'll stand by the vans, and I'm gonna point out another building to you, and then we'll go in, okay? All right.
Yeah, you won't have